Several Hello World programs, Class A, Class B, all are Hello World programs. In every program, there are some programming elements. To compose a program, what are the main programming elements? Not only in Java, in any programming language, to compose a program, to develop a program. It can be in the C or it can be in the C++ or in the Java or in the VB. In any programming language, to compose a program, to develop a program, what are the main programming elements available? Let us discuss the very important programming elements in every program, in any programming language. First and foremost one, keywords. What is a keyword? A word which is already having some predefined meaning, a word which is having some predefined meaning. While developing programming language developers, they identified several words, each word having its own meaning. Whichever word already identified by programming language developers, those words are called as a keywords. Every keyword internally assigning with one meaning. It can be a meaning, it can be a definition, it can be a purpose, it can be a usage, it can be even a declaration, something already assigned to a word. Those type of words are called as a keywords. In our real life, whatever language we are using, like English, in the English language also, there are several predefined words. Whichever word already defined, those are called as a keywords. Friend is a keyword having some kind of meaning. Father is a keyword having some kind of meaning. Institute is a keyword. College is a keyword. Village is a keyword. In the real life, whatever language we are using, in that language, whatever nouns we are seeing, almost all these nouns are having the meanings internally. Similarly, in the programming language also, while developing a programming language, they identified some words. Every word is having its own meaning or a definition or even usage or a purpose or anything which is already assigned. Through keywords only, we can explain what we are trying to develop in the program. Through keywords only, we can clearly explain what we are expecting from this program. To whom we are explaining? We are explaining to the compiler and also to the runtime environment. Compiler and runtime environment both are already knowing the keywords. Through keywords only, you are trying to explain what you are expecting from that program, what you are trying to develop in that program. Through keywords, you can see like keywords are interface between developers and compiler, developers and runtime environment. Whatever developer supposed to tell to the compiler, same he can tell through keywords. Whatever developer supposed to tell to the runtime environment, same he can tell through keywords. Every programming language containing several keywords. Through keywords only, programming language is defining. Without a keywords, there is no programming language. Java also having several keywords. Every keyword is having its own meaning, its own definition, its own purpose or usage or something. Keyword is assigned with some kind of meaning or definition or a purpose or usage. Something you are trying to explain to the compiler or to the runtime environment. Those words are keywords. There are several keywords in Java. You don't require to by heart. This is the keyword for this particular purpose. This is the keyword. This is having a particular meaning. This is the keyword. This is having this particular definition or declaration or usage or purpose. While going through different concepts, while learning the concepts, automatically you will come to know different keywords whichever involving in that concept. Every keyword, either meaning or usage or purpose, automatically you can understand. You don't require to develop a table which contains a keyword and its description. Doesn't require. While going through different concepts, automatically you will come to know different keywords in each and every concept. While learning that concept, every keyword, whatever meaning or whatever definition assigned, that you can able to understand and even remember. We don't require to have a table of the keywords. There are several keywords. While learning the concepts, automatically you will come to know keyword and its assigned purpose or usage. Now, in the Hello World program, let us see what are the keywords we have used. Class is a keyword, public is a keyword, static is a keyword, void is a keyword. Edit plus displaying all the keywords in a particular color. You can see the blue color. If any word is displaying with a blue color by edit plus, then that is a keyword. Not only these four, you will come to know several keywords while keep going through different concepts. Class is a keyword. It's having its own definition, its own meaning. Public also a keyword. It's having its own meaning. Similarly, static and void. You'll come to know more about class keyword while going through encapsulation. You'll come to know more about public keyword while going through access specifiers. You'll come to know more about static keyword while going through a concept called static. You'll come to know more about void while covering methods. There is a concept called methods. At the time, you will be knowing every information about void. So, four keywords we are using in the first Hello World program itself. In the first Hello World program itself, we are using four keywords. Without a keyword, you cannot develop even a Hello World program also. In the Hello World program itself, four keywords we have used. While developing any customer requirement, definitely more keywords we required to use. While using different concepts to explain that concept to the compiler or to the runtime environment, you need to specify keywords. In all the programs you can see Without these four keywords, no hello world program in Java. In every Java program, you have to use minimum these four keywords. All keywords are displaying in the blue color by Edit Plus. One very important point with respect to Java keywords, every keyword in the lowercase alphabets. No keyword is starting with uppercase alphabet. If at all you are typing a program right from the beginning, definitely you may be committing a mistake like C in the uppercase. If C in the uppercase, then it won't come under keyword. If at all you are typing a program right from the beginning, you may be committing a mistake P in the uppercase. It is not a proper. Every keyword containing all alphabets in the lowercase. Whatever keywords will come in down the line, every keyword having lowercase alphabets. Come to the second programming element. Identifiers. Without identifiers, we cannot develop even a single hello world program. In any programming language, not only in Java, in any programming language, identifiers are required. What is identifier? Identifier is nothing but a name. Name. Whatever name you are choosing in any context, that context can be named to the class, that context can be named to the method, that context can be named to the variable, that context can be named to the package, named to the reference variable, named to the argument. Wherever you are choosing a name in a particular context, that name is called as an identifier. From now onwards, don't mention name, keep mention identifier. Identifier. We are identifying something to a particular class, something to a particular method, something to a particular variable. We are only identifying name to a class, name to variable, name to method, name to package, name to reference, name to the argument. All that names are called as a identifiers. In different context, we are choosing names. All that names are considered as a identifiers. So there are no like a fixed set of identifiers. You can choose your own name, class person, class book, class credit card, class order, class student, class employee, variable interest rate, variable reduction rate, method name main, method name calculate something, method name either set value or get value. All these are identifiers, names. Without a name, you cannot design a class. Without a name, you cannot define a method. Without a name, you cannot declare a variable. Names are very much required. Even in the Hello World program also, you require a name. In Java, you cannot develop anything without a class. In Java, to develop anything, you require a class. The class should have a name. Please observe. Without a class, you cannot develop anything in Java. Minimum one class is required. That class should have a name. Inside that class, if you want to develop any executable content, then main method is mandatory. Inside that class, if you want to execute something, if you want to develop any executable content, executable content, then main method is mandatory. So please observe, class A, it is an identifier to the class. Main, it is an identifier to the method. Name of the method, identifier of a method. In order to execute anything in Java, you have to develop a main method. That main method should be member of a class. Inside a class, you need to develop main method. This main method should take one argument. That argument always should be a string array. That string array should have a name. That name is a args. It is also one identifier. In the simple hello world program, class name, method name, argument name, three identifiers we are using. No matter what you are trying to develop inside a program, these three identifiers very much required. Not only in Java, in any programming language, while developing a simple hello world program also, minimum one identifier is required. You should know what is the identifier. Name to the class, name to the method, name to variable. You will come to know what is a variable in down the line. Name to the argument, like a main method argument, that is string array, that string array having a name as a args. You will come to know local variables, local reference variables, even package names. All those things comes under identifier. In the simple hello world program, what are the identifiers we have chosen? I am just considering our first class A program. A is a name to the class, main is a name to the method, args is a name to the argument of main method. Main method having one argument, that argument name is args. Without names, you cannot develop even a simple hello world program. So here, no boundary. You can choose your own name based on the context. If you are trying to design a class for person, give a name as a person. If you are designing a class for employee, design a name as an employee. If you are trying to store age value in a variable, then give a name of the variable as a age. Based on the context, you can choose your own name, your own identifier, boundaryless. Keywords are with a boundary. Fixed number of keywords are there. Identifiers, no boundary. Any identifier you can choose. While choosing identifiers, you need to follow some rules. There are some rules to be followed while choosing identifiers. What are the rules to be followed while choosing identifiers? First and foremost one, it should not be a keyword. Whatever identifier you are identifying, that identifier should not be from the keywords list. List of keywords already defined. You should not choose any keyword as an identifier. You should not choose. No keyword can be identified as a identifier. Already keyword is having a meaning to the compiler and runtime environment. You should not choose the same keyword for your class name, same keyword for your method name, same keyword for your argument name, same keyword to the variable name, same keyword to the package name. This is the first and foremost rule to be followed while choosing a identifier for any context. The second rule, starting character of the identifier. What could be first character of the identifier? First character can be any alphabet. It can be lowercase or uppercase, any alphabet, underscore and dollar. All alphabets allowed as a first character. All alphabets allowed as a first character. In addition to alphabets, even underscore also allowed, dollar also allowed. While choosing an identifier for your own purpose, first character, it can be lowercase alphabet or uppercase alphabet, or it can be underscore, or it can be dollar. Alphabets, underscore, dollar. First character. The third rule, from second character onwards, like a third character, fourth character, fifth character till to the end. From second character onwards, you can go for any alphabet, underscore, dollar, and also any digit. Any digit allowed from second character onwards. From the second character onwards, any digit is allowed. Any alphabet, underscore, dollar, any digit. Digits are allowed only from the second character onwards, not in the first place. Digits are allowed only from second character onwards, not in the first place. With second and third rule, you can come to know two observations. First one, digits are allowed only from second character onwards, not in the first place. Digits are allowed from second character onwards anywhere, from 0 to 9, whichever digit you wanted, that can be chosen in the identifier only from second character onwards. This is the first observation. Let us see one more observation. Allowable special characters in the identifier. Allowable special characters. Only two, those are underscore and dollar. Allowable special characters in the identifier. Only two, those are underscore and dollar. You can use underscore or dollar in any location of the identifier, including first location. In any location, you can use underscore or dollar in the identifier. Only two allowable special characters. So you know several special characters. Among all, in the Java identifier, only two special characters are allowed. One is underscore, second one is a dollar. These two can be even in the first location also. So please observe, no identifier can start with a digit, but identifier can have a digit from the second character onwards. No identifier can have a special characters apart from underscore and dollar. Let us see some valid identifiers, some invalid identifiers. Valid identifiers, invalid identifiers. Person 1, even P1, valid identifiers, employee, even underscore employee. Based on your context, you can choose this type of names. Main underscore, calculate. Sometimes underscore will be starting in the beginning itself. Digit can be anywhere from second character onwards, but not in the first character. Underscore and dollar can be anywhere. Sometimes you may be using dollar. Dollar can be even in the first place also. Anywhere. In the same way, let us see some invalid. First and foremost one, class. It is a keyword. You should not choose keyword itself as an identifier. Even static, it is also a keyword. You should not use keyword as a identifier. One person or something like a meaningful way, first person. I want to define one identifier to the class name for the first person. I'm starting with one. No identifier can start with the digit. No identifier can start with the digit. You will be getting a compilation error. This type of choosing the identifier is invalid. Let us consider person, some age. Percentage is a special character. It is not allowed. Only two special characters are allowed. Those are underscore and dollar. Remaining special characters are not allowed. We are using percentage. Not allowed. Calculate some kind of rate with a hash mark. It is also not allowed. Space also special character. Most of the people not knowing like space is a special character. Space also one of the physical character. It comes under special characters. Please remember, space, white space also a physical character. Like any other characters, white space also a physical character. It comes under special character. Please observe. Whatever percentage we are seeing, whatever hash mark we are seeing, whatever less than symbol, greater than symbol, these comes under special characters. Under same even space also comes. Sometimes you may be choosing hello space again as an identifier. Space is there here. Space is not allowed. It is also one of the invalid. Most of the beginners are committing this mistake. While choosing a name to the class, they are choosing a space. While choosing a name to the method, they are choosing a space in the middle. Space is not allowed. Only two allowable special characters, underscore and dollar. Hello space again is invalid identifier in Java. We just followed only rules. There are some industry conventions also. Industry people defined while going for a class, try to choose identifier like this. While going for a method, try to choose an identifier like this. While going for any variable, local or global or package name, industry experts defined some conventions. Those are not mandatory to follow. You will be knowing those industry conventions while covering final keyword. By the time you will be knowing the meaning of constant. Once you know the meaning of constant, then only you can understand industry conventions whichever provided by industry experts. Whatever three rules we have seen, these three rules are mandatory to follow in order to compile and run successfully. Whatever industry conventions I am talking about, these are not a mandatory but the best to follow. You cannot understand the conventions by now itself. There is a concept called a constant. You will come to know constant while covering final keyword. Once final keyword is covered, then I will be explaining whatever industry conventions are there for the identifiers. Those industry conventions are not a mandatory to follow in order to compile and run, but it is always advisable to follow. All industry experts defined some rules additionally as a industry standards or industry conventions. Those things you'll come to know while covering final keyword topic. As of now, try to follow these three rules. Compiler and runtime environment will be accepting your identifiers if you follow these three rules. So we have seen keywords, identifiers. Let us see the third programming element, literal. The third programming element, literal. Literal is nothing but a value. From now onwards, don't use value word. Instead of value word, keep using literal. Keep using literal. Literal is nothing but a value. Whatever different types of values available, all that values are treated as a literals. In any programming language, values are required. Mainly, you will be receiving a value from the customer, processing the same value, getting an output, that output also a value, that value showing back to the customer. Very simple in the calculator itself, we are providing input as a numbers with a one operator. Whatever numbers you are supplying as an input, those numbers are values. You are getting an output. Whatever output you are getting, that is another number, that is also a value. In general, in any software applications, customer will be giving an input. That input is nothing but values, literals. Our program will be taking customer input, processing according to the requirement. Once processing is done, getting a results. That results again values, that values again sending back to the customer, showing back to the customer. Without a value, what is the need of developing any program? Your program should take the input from the customer. That input should be processed. Once processing is done, get the output, show that output back to the customer. Even in the Hello World program also, we have a value, we are printing that value as a Hello World. Check it out in the a.java. This is a string literal and a double quotes. Whatever you are supplying, that is printing back to the person, whoever running your program. Whoever running class A, they will be getting output as a hello world. It is a literal, it is a value. This value printing. In all the programs we are printing, you can print anything, not only hello world. You can print hello India. You can print anything. But you need to provide some kind of output to the person whoever running your program. Otherwise, the person whoever running your program, he will be thinking like your program is not doing anything. While running your program should respond to something. That respond is nothing but a value. It has to print the value. That value is nothing but a literal. In any program, you have to print at least something. Whatever you are printing something, that is nothing but a value. That value is a literal. In any programming language, there are some fixed type of literals available. Majorly, the numbers, any number, it can be negative or zero or positive number or any number without a decimal, you can treat widely as a int. Int literal. It can be negative number or positive number. It can be even zero. It can be even zero. But without a decimal. Then broadly it is called as a int. But there are some subdivisions also. You'll come to know that subdivisions later. There are some subdivisions like a byte, short, long also along with the int. You will be knowing more about that subdivisions later. As of now, consider any number without a decimal. That is called as a int literal. Int literal. Int value. The second type of the literal with a decimal. It can be dot zero also. Any value, negative value also. After dot something, it can be even zero. It can be positive number or it can be negative number, but it should have a decimal value. After a dot, there should be something. It can be even zero. A number with a decimal, it can be positive or negative. It can be even 0.9. This type of literal treated as a double. So here also two varieties are there, float and double. You'll come to know what is the range of float, what is the range of double. Generally you can consider as a double type. There is once again float internally. You'll come to know what is a float later. So the broader way of division, you can consider this as a double. A number with a decimal, a number with a decimal considered as a double. So two types of literals we have seen. Let us see the third type of literal, a single character under single quote. It can be lowercase alphabet, it can be uppercase alphabet. It can be even digit as well. It can be even special character as well. But only one character under single quote. It is considered as a char literal. Char literal, single character under single quote. That character can be any alphabet, any digit, any special character. Whatever characters available in the keyboard, every character comes under char type. You need to declare under single quote. It can be even digit also, I already told. Digit also, if you are representing under single quote, it comes under char type of literal, char type of value. The next one, True, comma, false. Only two literals are there which are coming under Boolean. True, comma, false, which are coming under Boolean. Only two literals. Only two literals. Both you need to specify under lower case only. T should not be in the upper case. F also should not be in the upper case. Both comes under keywords. True is a keyword. False also keyword. Both are Boolean literals. Boolean literals. So something like a go or no go. Yes or no. So something like a okay, not okay. In the programming language, how to represent okay, not okay, yes or no, go or no go. That can be represented through true and false. Only two Boolean literals, true and false, in order to represent some condition based scenarios. Two Boolean literals, true and false. The last one, string literal. Under double quotes, any number of characters, any type of characters, including space. Whatever you provide from a double quotes till to another double quotes, it comes under string literal. Even a number under double quotes also a string literal, string value. Empty also. No characters, but starting double quotes, ending double quotes. Any special characters also. Whatever you provide from double quotes to till to another double quotes, it comes under string. Even if you go for under double quotes true, it is not a Boolean, it is a string. It is not a Boolean, it is a string. Let us go for 55.87. If it is under double quotes, it is a string, it is not a double. It is not a double, it is a string. Under double quotes, anything, any number of characters, any type of characters comes under string. Under double quotes, any number of characters, any type of characters, any character, it can be digits also, special characters also, even Boolean literal also. If it is under double quotes, it will be considered as a string literal. So here, first four types treated as a primitive. You will be knowing what is a primitive later. The last one is a string. It is considered as a derived. First four types considered as a primitive. Int double char Boolean comes under primitive. Primitive means already available in the programming language. Still you will be knowing more about primitive later. So don't worry anything. As of now, just to note down like first four comes under primitive data type. Primitive data type. The last one comes under derived data type. What is a derived? That also you'll come to know later. Derived data type. The fourth programming element, built-in. So what is the built-in? If any feature already developed in the programming language, that feature we are using straight away rather than developing right from the scratch. Assume already feature got developed. It is available in the programming language. We are using straight away. That type of feature is called as a built-in. In any programming language, lot of built-in features are there. With that built-in features only, we can able to develop even a simple hello world program. Built-in features are very much required in every programming language. Programming language developers, they are developing several built-in features which we are using straight away. If at all programming language developers assume they didn't provide any built-in features, then using that programming language is very difficult. We are the learners. We are not the developers of programming language. Developers of programming language knows every information. They had to provide some of the mandatory features whichever required to the learner like us. So we are the learners. We may not be able to develop some of the features while learning itself. In the initial stage itself, we may not be able to develop any of the features. Programming language developers, they should provide some of the built-in features. Through that built-in features, we can start understanding programming concepts. If they didn't provide any built-in features, then totally it's very difficult to learn any of the programming language. There is a lot of difference between programming language developers and the programming language users or learners like us. Programming language developers like a Sun Microsystem. The engineers from the Sun Microsystem, they developed Java. We are using Java. We are learning Java to use. There is a huge difference between Sun engineers, whoever involved in the programming language development, and the people like us, like employees or software engineers. A huge difference. They know each and every information about programming language as they are only developers of the programming language. So we are trying to learn. Even though we are learning every concept, even though we are becoming a guru of Java, definitely we may not be knowing whatever Sun team knows. They are the programming language developers. They know each and every information. We are trying to learn whatever they defined as a rule, whatever they provided as a concept. We are something like a learners. We are not the developers of the programming language. Programming language developer, definitely he is an author. He knows every information. He only defined the concepts. He only defined the rules. He knows every information. He has to provide some of the basic built-in features. By using that built-in features, learner can start understanding programming language. Every programming language should have some minimum built-in features. Through that built-in features only, we can start developing hello world kind of program. In every programming language, while developing a even simple hello world also, you required at least one or two built-in features. Without built-in features, you cannot develop even a simple hello world program. Not only in Java, in any programming language, built-in features are very much required for the learner. If any programming language doesn't have built-in features, then no one can understand that programming language. Only developers knows that, that is programming language developers knows about that programming language. Learner required some extent of development in the programming language. Through that extent of development, he can start developing his own programs rather than right from the scratch. Even though our Hello World programs, we developed right from the scratch. Please observe. All the statements we only developed. Even though every statement we only developed, here we used one built-in task. That built-in task is system.out.println. We are not bothering about how to send output to the command prompt. Please observe. We are not developing a task of connecting to the command prompt from the Java program, flushing the output from the Java program to the command prompt. This feature is a very difficulty feature. We can consider like one of the mini project. Java program should interact with the command prompt. Command prompt is a utility from the operating system. From a Java program, while running Java program, you should interact with the command prompt to send output to the command prompt. We don't require to bother about how to interact to the command prompt from a Java program to flush the output, to send the output to the command prompt. There is a built-in statement, system.out.println. It is already defined in the programming language. We should know how to use system.out.println. You don't require to worry what is happening internally. Lot of things are happening. I already told it is one of the mini projects. Learner, while learning, how he can develop a mini project? After learning only, he can start implementing to develop a mini project or major project. So here system.out.println is one of the built-in statement. This statement already defined in the JDK. We can straight away use that statement rather than developing the statement right from the scratch. We don't require to develop the statement right from the scratch. Already it is available. If at all we want to develop the statement right from the scratch, definitely we cannot. We don't know anything about Java. While developing a Hello World program, if you want to develop a bigger feature, which is like a mini project, definitely no one can able to develop, no one can able to start learning Java. Not only Java, in any programming language, some kind of built-in is very much required. If you consider C, there also built-in is there. If you consider C++, Java, .NET, everywhere some built-in is there. We need to use that built-in in order to start development, or even while developing a programs, while developing a projects. If more built-in is there, our time will be less. We don't require to develop all the features, whatever is required for our customer. If more built-in available, less development in the project. If less built-in is there, more development is required in the project. If you consider C, very less built-in, but built-in is there, very less. Compared to C, C++ built-ins are more. Compared to C++, Java built-ins are more. Compared to Java built-ins, .NET built-ins are more. It varies from one programming language to another programming language. So .NET is almost like a framework. 90% built-ins only. You need to identify which built-in you have to use for a customer. But in Java, built-ins available, but not like the extent of .NET. So here, most of the features we have to develop for the customer, but we will be using from the built-in also. While developing any feature, some built-ins we will be using. There are some features which are available completely as a built-in. So in Java, definitely development time is more compared to .NET. So in the .NET, development time is less. Consider any XYZ project. If we are developing 3 months XYZ project, same XYZ project we can able to finish within 1 month while using .NET. It is one of the advantage of the .NET, but there are several disadvantages. You will come to know later. So don't worry anything about now. So I'm just like a comparing built-ins. Every programming language having a built-ins. Java also having a built-ins. .NET also having a built-in. Without a built-in, 200% no chance of learning programming language. Programming language developer, he has to provide some extent of development. With that extent of development, we can able to go ahead. Let us consider car. If they are not providing a steering, if they are providing only engine and some mechanism to steer, not like a automatic steering, definitely it will be very difficult to ride. Not only manufacturing the car, they had to provide some extent of features which will be useful for the driving. Otherwise, drivers cannot able to use the car. So not only in the car, every way, developer of a product, he has to provide some extent of development which should be helpful for the learner. If some extent of development is not there, definitely no one can able to start using that product. Similarly, in programming language also some extent is very much required. That is called as a built-in. Please observe, to develop a simple hello world program also we required 4 main programming elements. For simple hello world also programming elements required, mandatory programming elements. Keywords required, minimum 1 keyword. If you consider Java, minimum 4 keywords. Already we observed through hello world programs. Then identifiers. Minimum 3 identifiers. Class name, method name, argument name. Then literals. Input and output, we are representing through literals only. Without input and output, what is the need of developing a program? If program is not receiving any input from the customer, then you are not developing a program for the customers. If you are not showing anything to the customer, then customer will not be thinking like your program has done something to the customer. The last one, built-in. In our simple hello world program, we are using system.out.println as a built-in. Likewise, lot more built-ins available. In the second part of the core Java, like advanced portion of the core Java, we will be learning only built-ins. Exception classes already available. String classes already available. Collection classes already available. Thread classes already available. File handling related already available. In JDK, lot of API, application programming interface, API specific classes are there. All the classes comes under built-in. Even in the string class also, lot of built-ins are there. In the string class, lot of built-ins are there. We are not using string class built-ins in the main method body, as our program is a hello world program. While going forward, we will be using lot of methods of the string class which are predefined, which are built-in. In the hello world program, we are not using string class. We are simply specifying string array as an argument to the main method under a contract of Java command. Java command looking for static main method which takes a string array as an argument. But inside a main method body, we not used args. You will come to know in down the line usage of the args. String array is available in the main method. Inside a string, lot of built-ins are there. We didn't use because of our program is a hello world program. In down the line, we will be using lot of features of the string class containing several built-in features. Not only string and system, lot more classes available in the JDK. Those classes containing built-in features. Those built-in features mainly we will be using in the second part of our core Java. Our core Java divided into 2 parts, core Java basics, core Java advanced. In the core Java basics, Mainly we will be considering basics of the programming language and object-oriented programming concepts. Only these two things will be covered under Core Java Basics. Under Core Java Basics, basics of the programming language like if-else blocks, switch cases, variables, operators, methods. The second part is object-oriented programming concepts, encapsulation, inheritance, abstraction, and polymorphism. Then second part of the Core Java Advanced. Under Core Java Advanced, we will be seeing wrapper classes, exception classes, string classes, collection API classes, generics related, file handling related, all comes under advanced concepts. So first we'll go for Core Java Basics. In the Core Java Basics also, first we will see the basics of any programming language. If else blocks, switch cases, for loop, while loop, do while, these are available in any programming language, even in C or C++. Once you learn in one programming language, you don't require to learn the same in another programming language. Almost like 100% same syntax. There may be 1 or 2% change. 100% same. So this is all about programming elements for any programming language. In any programming language, while composing a program, these 4 programming elements are very much required.